y equals a times tangent bx actually is what this video is going to be about, but that's not really a big deal. Nonetheless, we're going to eventually be looking at this one problem right here. Now, this is the mother graph. It's definitely summarized well in video 184 and 185. Let's move on. Oh, by the way, there was a mistake in 185. This should have said quote-unquote 90s rather than 180s because, of course, the value for tangent is undefined here. So that would have been 90 and 270. I'm calling these the quote-unquote 90s. All right. Now, in video 186, this would have been our inputs and our outputs. Now, look what happens here. From video 185, the 1/2 here would have told us to multiply the denominator by 2, which would have changed this pi over 2 to a pi, and would have changed the pi over 4s to pi over 2s. Let's move on now. Then, the old form, without the number in front of here, we would have just simply had -1, 0, and 1. But what's this number doing? It's multiplying that. So instead of -1, positive 4. Instead of positive 1, -4. Now, this switches our graph slightly. So what we're working with here now is this ends up being pi over 2. This ends up being negative pi over 2. But what's the x value here? Excuse me, the y value? And what's this y value here? Plus or minus what? 4. So that changes things. It makes our original graph a little taller and reversed. Okay? Or inversed, like well, reversed. It reflected over a vertical axis. So, nonetheless, we're working with 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, which is pi, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2, which is 2 pi, 5 pi over 2, right here. The next one is 6 pi over 2, which is what? 3 pi. So it looks like we're going to be undefined at the odd pi's. How do you say that? We're going to be undefined at pi plus 2n pi. So pi plus any other odd numbered pi's. Okay, so there's our undefined. So anyway, this should summarize how you're going to want a graph. Of course, we can continue here. This would then be negative pi. This would be negative 3 pi. This guy here is negative 2 pi. This is what? Negative 3 pi over 2. And this is definitely negative 5 pi over 2. And obviously our domain is everything except for those guys. So anyway, questions or concerns, send me an email. Good times.